Major League Baseball Players Association is saying that they want to help minor leaguers unionize. We've talked about this before, and again, I get it. You choose to play, and it's your decision to play. No one's forcing you to play minor league baseball. Yeah, okay. Listen, they've got themselves an effective monopoly. If you want to make the majors, you got to play minor league baseball. Sure. And these guys are living off, $4 and a tuna fish sandwich. And
at the local diner after the game.
Right.
It's not even the good tuna fish.
And that's fine if that's how it should be. And then you're not in an industry where billions of dollars are made on a regular basis. So Tony Clark, I believe ex-Detroit Tiger first baseman Tony Clark, the Players Association executive director, said yesterday, minor leaguers represent our game's future. They deserve wages and working conditions that befit elite athletes who entertain millions of baseball fans. This could unionize more than 5,000 minor leaguers. Remember, the players won a $185 million settlement from the league in an unpaid wages class action lawsuit. You're talking about salaries that for a vast majority range from around $5,000 to $14,000 annually. This is also becoming a thing because the Senate Judiciary Committee, which has their hands full these days anyways, is suggesting that it'll call a hearing looking after that antitrust exemption. Again, there's just so many goofy things wrong with baseball. The fact that the minor leaguers are paid what they're paid, or should I say not paid what they should be paid. The antitrust exemption, which has absolutely no place with there's nobody, you cannot mount an argument that makes the antitrust exemption for baseball make sense. Why there's not one for the NBA or NFL or MLS or whoever. Baseball's got it. It's just so
when did that antitrust? That's like from the 20s almost, right?
Dude,
it's almost 100 years old, I think.
Like back in the Kennesaw Mountain Landis days, I think.
He's been dead for a while.
Yeah, he has. Fact. Meanwhile, this all comes coincidentally right when we're hearing, and again, the worst kept secret in Sacramento sports circles for the last 6 months, but the Kings are wrapping up buying the River Cats from the Savage family. We talked about this a little bit last week. Details kind of coming in a little bit more. Let me start by this. August 9th of this year, like literally this month, earlier this month. How about I put it this way? Earlier this month, Endeavor, they own the UFC, amongst other things, sold their 10 minor league baseball teams to an investment firm named Silver Lake for $280 million. These include affiliates of the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Braves, in cities like Scranton, Pennsylvania, Augusta, Georgia. Deal still hasn't even closed. That's how new it is. 10 teams, $280 million. That's $28 million per team on average. As we get this deal in with the Kings and the River Cats, it sounds like it's $92 million for the River Cats. Let me be clear. Finding minor league valuations like Forbes does for all the other is very difficult. But the last one I saw Forbes did, the last one I could find was Forbes did one in 2016. They also did one, I think, in 08, 2012. The River Cats are regularly the most valuable minor league baseball franchise in existence.
Yay, Sacramento.
No doubt about it. Because you got so in the defense, you've got the most valuable franchise. You're getting Raleigh Field, and as I understand it, because I really tried to dive
Sutter Health Park
a little. Is it Sutter Health Park? Whatever. And
wow,
well, they're not paying me. What do you want from me? So you also are getting some of the surrounding land, I guess, to develop on, and ultimately, it's worth what's paid for it. So what are the River Cats worth? Well, apparently they're worth $92 million. But this is just a strange purchase all the way around. And that's kind of why I'm sticking on. Number one, let's make it clear: this is a Vivek Sacramento purchase, not a Kings purchase. It's the Kings, but none of the other, there is no, contrary to popular belief, there's not a there's not a group rule there. It's not everybody has a say and there's open, like, let's be honest. Vivek does the thing, and unless it's completely egregious and the owners rise up, it's Vivek's thing. He wanted to buy this. Now, obviously, there's other people that have spearheaded this within the organization. I would just honestly, like, I'm fully aware. I'm a sports radio guy. I'm not a land developer, and I'm not a multimillionaire. So let's throw the ignorance right out there in front. I would love, and I know somebody from over there is listening, I would love somebody come on and break this down when it's all said and done, or call me privately. Help me out. Because everyone else I talk to, because again, I'm not going to break it down. I'm talking to smarter people than me. And they're like, yeah, I don't get it either. Like, sure, the seasons don't really overlap, so you can bring costs down by centralizing River Cats and Kings. Sounds like there's going to be another outdoor stadium. Kevin Nagel's doing with the Republic, so maybe this is also a shot across the bow there that they want to have some of those outdoor events. You're going to be able to develop, and maybe they end up in a net profit on the thing, and I don't care. Whatever. They make money, lose money, as long as it doesn't affect the team, I don't care. But I guess the thing that really bothers me more than anything about this purchase, and it is apples to oranges, Jay, but where are they on soccer? Like, I appreciate and I love ownership for saving the Kings is stepping up. Like, I feel like that doesn't need to be said anymore, but should say it anyways. What I don't like is that the local aspect of ownership, I can tell you, has been slowly but surely shrinking over the last few years. People are cashing out. Mm-hmm. You've got minority owners, local owners that are frustrated. They don't have a say in anything. Literally, I've heard this term so many times from these people. They're glorified season ticket holders. They have equity in the team. I don't feel bad for them. They're selling their shares off and making a butt ton of money. Good for them. They deserve it. But the large majority of ownership for the Kings, and by large, I mean like large majority, they're folks from the Bay Area. They fly in, they drive from the private airport to the Sawyer. They walk underground to the game. They watch the game. They hang out in their little private, lounge. Then they walk back underneath the ground to the Sawyer. They get in their car. They go back to the airport. They fly back home. It's a 20-minute drive, or a flight, I should say. I'm sorry. Do I wish there was more local involvement? I do, because ownership, they're basically the carpetbaggers. They're not there's no Sacramento representation. You're not looking out there and seeing Lisa Parker or Phil Oates or Kevin Nagel or Dale Carlson. You'd have no idea they own the team. So my thing is this: these folks saved the team, wrote the checks, and they've made a ton of money through the public-private partnership. Ton of money, from $550 million to $2.5–3 billion now. That's a pretty good investment in 10 years. Awesome. Like, for real. Hats off. All the respect in the world. But right now, you've got Nagel out there who's carrying this Republic team on his shoulders, and his shoulders alone, doing everything he can and has been for years to go out and try to find MLS, trying to bring outside owners in, right, who have billions and that cachet amongst MLS folks. He's out there all the time trying to find these folks. Meanwhile, he's funding everything. These guys are buying minor league baseball teams. You've got an opportunity to help bring MLS to Sacramento.
But we kind of just talked, though, about there's a lack of synergy, it seems like, between the local investors who I believe have, ties obviously to the Republic.
Yeah.
And the majority owners of the Sacramento Kings. I mean, it just kind of answers itself. There's not a synergy there. I don't know the politics behind it. I'm not involved with that, obviously. But from the 10,000 feet perspective, which is the only perspective I have, there's clearly a clash there. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm guessing, just me, usually when it comes to people with money, especially men, there's a lot of pettiness going on.
Oh, there's
a lot of pettiness.
There's tons of petty going on. There is absolute pettiness. There's no doubt about it. And there are definitely splits and disagreements, and But
right there you go. And it's sad because it's pettiness like that is why our city struggled to grow for so long prior to, right? It was always petty nonsense. It's Carl's Jr.'s commercials. It's just stupid crap. And here it is again. Every time the city gains this momentum, you get petty people doing petty things.
Yeah.
And the only people that lose out are, fans, people in the city that see the urban life going up and the improvements that it's making and the more improvements that we can see, not even people that are going to actively go to games all the time. Mm-hmm. It's just everyone loses. Mm-hmm. It sucks.
They do. And that's the thing. You have an opportunity here. You have an opportunity. And by the way, I'm not blaming anyone per se. I know it sounds like that.
Oh, I'm sure everyone has a side.
I don't know the inner work. It sounds like I think I do. I don't know all the inner workings. I don't know all the interplay. I'm not taking sides. I don't care who's right and wrong. I would like to see them figure it out. And really, we already have the River Cats. Like, they're here. They're not relocated.
Yeah, they're not. And also, they're not going to be a potential MLB team.
No, we have an opportunity to bring another major league sport to town.
It'd be one thing if the, ownership of the Kings was investing in the River Cats to get Hart Health Park or Sutter Health Park, one damn health parks.
Yeah, right.
With the idea, we're going to turn this into a major league stadium and bring the A's here. That's different.
Fine.
But that's not happening.
That's not on
the docket.
No. That's not on the plan at all. Dave, you can't tell other people where to spend their money. Yeah, I can. You don't have to listen. I can 100% tell them where they spend their money.
Am I right?
It is 100. Last time I checked, this is America. Tell them what I want.